Hello everyone. Okay, so funny story. Uh, this video, is meant to be part 1 of a new thing I'm doing, kind of like an Angry Birds news recap, where I just talk about all Angry Birds news that was revealed each month, at the end of each month, and just kind of give some small thoughts on them, but, for this first episode I'm doing, there was only ever one piece of news that got revealed, that being a new Angry Birds game. So I decided to center the entire video around my thoughts on this new game because, well, I mean, it's a brand new Angry Birds game. It's kind of a big piece of news, so why not? So yeah, this is going to be my thoughts on Angry Birds Bounce. And sit back, relax, enjoy, and listen to me yap. Okay, so the way this was first revealed was actually pretty funny, so I'm pretty sure this was early in the month. It might have been May. I don't know. But it got leaked to the Angry Birds website. I couldn't get a good image of it on here, but yeah, it was leaked to the website. Rovio accidentally added it early under like a code name, which fans quickly found, and found out, oh, hey, there's a new Angry Birds game coming. Looks interesting, because it didn't have a title yet. And after like a couple days to like a week, I think, of wondering what it was, the trailer dropped and everyone was kind of split, honestly. Um, so yeah, Angry Birds Bounce is coming. So we're gonna start with negative thoughts, at least in my opinion. Because this game actually has quite a few positives, at least for me. So, I want to end this video on a more positive note, so we're going to start there. So, for starters, unfortunately, it is another Apple Arcade exclusive. And I have an iPhone, so that's nice. The problem is I'm broke, so I can't afford the streaming service in the first place. Believe me, I tried to look for ways I could potentially emulate it for free. I couldn't find nothing. Apple's just too damn greedy. But yeah, so unfortunately, no Angry Birds Reloaded series and no Bounce series. So that's kind of sad. The only other negative is that Hal and Terrence are not playable. No Hal, no Terrence. But when we get to the other ones that are playable, I think their sacrifice won't be in vain. Right? They also issued a statement. I know you can't read it. I'm sorry. It's just a statement saying that they tried to add them apparently, but they couldn't. So here's hoping they at least make cameos of some sort in the game to make up for that. It's kind of like how Terrence was the mascot for the arena in Angry Birds Epic, something like that, in a way. But yeah, that's it for negatives. So now let's move on to positives. For starters, the art style is beautiful. Red here does look a little off, I'll admit that, but I think it's mostly just needing to take some getting used to. These designs appear to be very... If I had to put it this way, the Friends/Reloaded sprites kind of look like a mixture between classic and Toons, right? With the Reloaded/Friends sprites leaning closer towards the classic side. I'd say this also is like that, except leaning a bit more towards the Toons side. You can kind of see it, right? Like, they're a lot more expressive here, but it's clearly inspired by his classic look, so, versus Reloaded, he's a lot more stiff in terms of expressions, but it definitely a lot closer resembles his Toons look, if that makes sense in a way. Either way, the almost 2.5D with like almost the cell shading, it looks beautiful, and I love it in terms of art. And it's not AI generated. Thank fucking God it's not AI generated. And I meant that F word, by the way. I know I've received complaints about swearing. I understand why, but that one just had to get out. I'm sorry. Moving on, the gameplay actually doesn't look too bad either. Apparently they even said that, it was like, hey, we tried to make a slingshot game, but ever so slightly different, and I think a Brick Breaker game is the best way to go. I mean, hey, look at the bottom. They're even launching bricks and slingshots. That's another thing, too. I do notice, a life bar. I'm not entirely sure how that will work, but my guess is you have until the life bar runs out to clear the level, or else you fail. Because, yeah, what would be the fail condition here? Other than, I guess, the pigs reaching the bottom, maybe? It's possible. They did say it would also have some roguelite elements, so my guess is that it's just the pigs constantly come down, and the level ends and when either the life bar runs out, or the pigs reach the bottom. I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping there's no life or energy system in this game, because if there is, good God, that would really put a big mold spot in there, and as we all know, you don't just eat around the mold spots. The whole thing's ruined, so, now, about those playable characters I was talking about. Ruby's playable! After her introduction to the series, even? Oh my god, yeah. Girlbird was never playable, Creama Drawsbury was never playable. At least I hope it's pronounced Creama. I hope I didn't spend God knows how many years watching Maki's show, seeing it spelled like that, hearing it pronounced like that, just for it to be pronounced a different way. Anyway. Not to mention, Joe's playable, and Bubble's playable, and not pictured here, Melody's also playable, I think. Okay, obviously I get excited over Bubbles being playable, but, it's kind of surprising how he's a part of the base roster, right? Bubbles of all characters. How did that happen? I thought Rovio completely forgot about him. Now, apparently they didn't, but wow. So yeah, I'm interested to see how they work in this game. I'm interested to see how all these characters work. Apparently they all have their special powers still, so that'll be interesting and neat to see. And apparently Joe's gonna have a surprise ability too. That's gonna be very, very interesting. And not only that, apparently has an actual story to it too. As a theorist myself, I'm very interested in seeing how this story, at least overall, affects the lore of the game and everything. And you can check my theory of it when it drops, hopefully later this week, if not next week. On my other channel, Wo's Crazy Theories, I'll leave a link in the description to the channel, so you guys can subscribe, so you know when the video drops. I only have one subscriber, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's me. I subscribed to my own channel because I saw that I could, and I figured why not, so... like I said, I promise I'm not that stupid. But yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much all the positives I have for this game. So, yeah, as you can see, quite a bit of positivity I have going towards this. I really want to get a more positive attitude with Angry Birds, because I'm pretty sure Rovio's just feeding on our anger and hatred for them at this point, and it's only making them more powerful. So I want to try being positive and seeing what that does. Maybe they'll actually release some good things for once. Who knows? As cheesy as it is, I hope it'll work. Okay, but a lot of you watching this video might have noticed that I neglected to mention something, more accurately, someone, that being Gordon. Who the hell is this guy? And yeah, I know I've already seen and heard all the jokes. Gordon from Thomas the Tank Engine, Gordon Freeman from Half-Life, he looks like Mordecai from Regular Show, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna make those jokes, they've already been done to death. Which, funny enough, Mordecai himself has canonically met multiple times. Okay, never mind, but still. Now, of course, I'm seeing this guy, I'm seeing his design, his two tail feathers. Again, my theorist brain is going crazy about him. They're even releasing, like, mini fact sheets about the birds. Gordon got his own, like, yesterday, I think, the day I'm recording this, and hopefully the day it's posted, most likely. But, yeah, apparently he's talking about, he likes to talk about the North. What do you mean, the North? You mean, like, the North Pole, Santa Claus, Tony, that type of deal? Like, what is your deal, man? What is your deal? Who are you? I'll figure it out when the game drops. I'm gonna have to watch someone else play video games, like the Five Nights at Freddy's fan I am, but still. Like I said, kind of indifferent on this guy, that's why I didn't put him towards the positive or negatives. Because for all I know, this guy could ruin the lore entirely, but oh god. As it stands right now, okay, I will spoil this. As it stands right now, I believe the game takes place sometime close to, during, or after Angry Birds Friends, due to the existence of Ruby and all the other new birds introduced later in the timeline, as well as just the fact that, you know, the pigs kicking the birds off the island, them having to go explore and discover all the other islands, feels like a pretty good bookend with the start of the timeline, I believe to be the Melody comic. But if they make the King Leonard, oh no, that'll just ruin everything. So yeah, like I said, be sure to subscribe to Will's Crazy Theories so you don't miss that theory video when it drops, because oh boy, the game releases in 3 days, and I'm very nervous, but I'm also very excited, so we'll see. Anyway, this is an Angry Birds news recap episode, right? I suppose I should mention the Angry Birds Reloaded episode, which is very much just made to promote this new game. Because the Twitter post talking about it was saying stuff like, oh, we're getting bouncy around here, and speaking of bouncy, Reloaded has a new bouncy app. So I'm like, yeah, this is just made to promote bounce. Honestly, the only thing really worth talking about it, at least to me, is the fact that there's 4 eggs in the cutscenes for some reason. Could this potentially be foreshadowing Gordon's, big revelation, or is it just a big mistake? My headcanon is that they watched Angry Birds Stupid Adventures, saw that I had 4, saw that I had 4 eggs there instead of 3, and accidentally somehow thought that meant there were 4 eggs and had to correct their mistake. You guys, one of those is the egg steroid, not one of the actual eggs. Get rid of that 4th egg, guys. But that's pretty much all my thoughts for this new Angry Birds game. Please tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna go one of 2 ways: either boo, Apple Arcade exclusive, or this looks promising and I'm interested to see where it goes. I know it for a fact. But yeah, that's really all I got for you guys today. This is your monthly Angry Birds news recap, I guess. Not really, but also definitely, yeah. So, with that being said, I think that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video, which will be later this week. I'm not going to spoil what it is. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!